Hey, so this may very well be of no interest to like anybody other than me, but me and my wife recently went thrift shopping a couple of days ago, last week or whatever, looking for used books and movies. She got books, I got movies. I just wanted to go through a bunch of movies that I bought because they were all like $1 or $2 each, and that was fantastic. I bought 25 movies. They're all DVDs. I don't collect Blu-rays because they're just slightly more expensive and I don't think that they're super worth it. It's arguable that the DVDs aren't worth it either, but I love my collection. Yeah, so let's do that. Alright, so the first one is Whiplash. Fantastic movie. Super intense, especially considering what it's actually about, being just like making music. Yeah, this one's about like a drummer and his arguably or not abusive teacher, who arguably or not makes him great. It's a worthy addition to my collection, I reckon. Next up is The Thing. This is the original The Thing. I watched this for the first time like last year or something, and I thought it was fucking fantastic. I was really surprised because like I feel bad about it, and it's kind of embarrassing to say, but like I'm not the best with old movies. I often find that they're kind of boring. They don't resonate with me all that well sometimes, and often they're very, very slow. They take a long time to get to the premise. With The Thing, fuck, I fell in love with this from the first sequence. If you've seen it, there's something very clever going on with a dog. It's really cool, that's all. Next up is Borat. Okay, look, I'm not proud of this movie, okay, but I love me some Borat, you know, like, it's quite hilarious. Not for what I think a lot of people think is hilarious about it, though. Sacha Baron Cohen, he's a genius. Like, this guy is a mastermind in manipulative behavior. He knows exactly how to play the people that he is playing. He knows exactly what to say to get the exact right reaction out of these people. And it's a feat to witness. And it's a really kind of interesting movie that I think is a lot smarter than it looks. It kind of explores racism, and it kind of explores what America is about and the great diversity of that country and what's going on there and everything. And like, it's an old movie and everything. It's like 13 years old now, but I think that it's still pretty relevant to today. I actually really like this movie quite a lot, the more that I talk about it. Next up is the original Aladdin. I loved the remake so much that I just had to go out and buy it because, yeah, Aladdin's like a super good classic and everything, you know? It's good to own Disney movies. Or it's not, and it's a waste of money, I don't know. Next up is The Mummy. This is kind of a guilty pleasure kind of movie. Like, I know it's silly, I know it's cheesy and corny and everything, I know that it's kind of outdated and everything nowadays too, but I really liked the kind of adventure, the action, and the comedy and everything when I was a kid. I really liked this movie when I was younger. Brendan Fraser's like super likable here. He's like not in anything anymore, so I don't know what's with that. But The Mummy's fun. Another one I got is Legend. This is kind of an underrated movie that I don't think a lot of people have really seen. What it really showcases is how great Tom Hardy is. He does a great job of portraying these very similar yet very different people. Next up is a movie that I used to have on VHS, I'm pretty sure, when I was a kid. This is Spider-Man. I think it's a movie. It might be just a couple episodes of a show. I don't know. I haven't watched it yet, but I'm pretty sure it's a movie. Yeah, I remember this cover, and I remember watching something that looked like this when I was a kid. I have some, like, fond memories of this thing. I think this is it. Either way, whatever. It was like $1, so yeah. Sick. I got Spider-Man versus Doc Ock. Dr. Octopus, man. Next up is Back to the Future. To be honest, I'm not the biggest fan of this movie, but I've been wanting to rewatch it. It's not on Netflix or anything, so this gives me an excuse. I love time travel, so I'm expecting to love it. I've seen it, but I don't remember it that well. I don't feel like this is a bad addition to this collection, you know? I feel like Back to the Future is a movie you should own. Next up is Swiss Army Man. This is the weirdest movie you'll ever see, possibly. It's very unique, very strange. It's very about a dead guy farting. He uses a dead guy as a jet ski through his farts. That I'm not talking you into watching this movie, am I? No, it's good though. Trust me, somehow this movie about that is good. It's fantastic, actually. I really like it. Next up is Toy Story. Yes, Toy Story is great. There we go. Collateral is okay. Again, for $1, it's pretty good. I remember watching this movie for the first time like maybe a couple years ago and enjoying it. So, Collateral. Another one that's maybe like not a necessity to have in my collection, but I enjoyed the Magnificent 7 remake quite a bit. Like, I reckon this movie's pretty fun, so I own it. The rumors are true, guys. Love Actually is kind of delightful, and I really enjoy it. I've only seen it once, but this is another movie that I watched for the first time last year. I put off watching this movie because I thought it looked, you know, annoying and overrated, but it's pretty good. Except for that scene with, what's his face? He's not on the cover. The Walking Dead guy, Andrew Lincoln. He's a weirdo. I'm not on his side. I'm not on the girl's side either. What's her name? Keira Knightley. I don't support that relationship. Now, the couple movies I got, this is the only one that's kind of a collection of movies or whatever you call it. 28 Days and 28 Weeks Later. I really liked the original one, 28 Days Later, when I was a kid. It was one of my favorite zombie movies. I don't remember 28 Weeks Later. I'm pretty sure Jeremy Renner's in it. Look at me buying things, not even being sure. But Cillian or Killian or whatever Murphy is in the original, and it's really great. The first like half hour or so is some of the best zombie media you're gonna see. Yeah, good. Another zombie favorite of mine as a kid, the Dawn of the Dead remake. This is from Zack Snyder, believe it or not. This is a really fun movie. It's violent and fun and bloody and cool. Yeah. This is another movie that I liked quite a lot as a kid. I, Robot. This was $2, and this one even comes in like a special case thing. Ooh. How materialistic. Next up is something that is arguably the directors of this movie's best work. David Fincher's The Social Network. The Social Network obviously tells the story behind Facebook and Mark Zuckerberg and stuff, and it's a pretty good drama. Yep. Oh, another thing that I forgot to mention. Whoops. Another thing that I forgot to mention was that I actually really hate this Dawn of the Dead cover because it's upside down. It's upside down, and when you take the case out, like, it's the right way. It's not backwards. You know what I'm saying? The case. It's upside down. I don't know. Maybe I'm an idiot, and there's actually a very reasonable explanation for this. I might cut this out. Next up is a movie that I've come to appreciate in the past few years, Good Will Hunting. Like, yeah, I only saw this maybe a few years ago, and it's because I kept watching a few isolated scenes on YouTube. It made me really want to see it. There's this one fantastic scene where Robin Williams is talking about his wife, and it's real heartfelt and shit. And yeah, it's a good one. Jeez, I got a lot of movies that I've only seen in the past couple years, because here's another one. This one is Swingers. I remember liking it quite a bit. There's this one scene with a, like, answering machine message thing that, it's pretty funny. Best part of the movie, I remember. And it's interesting to see where Vince Vaughn and Jon Favreau, like, started. Jon Favreau being the director of Iron Man, for those of you who are not movie nerds and don't automatically know that. Next up is a classic, okay? This is like everybody's favorite movie in the world or whatever. It's definitely a movie that a lot of people own on DVD, and now I do too, Taxi Driver. This is just undeniably a classic. It's interesting to see kind of the early works and beginnings and really what made Robert De Niro famous and successful and shit. Yeah, it's good. It's classic. It's kind of a coincidence because next up is a movie where they have a couple gags and they kind of imitate the guy from Taxi Driver. Bad Neighbours. It's just called Neighbours in other countries, I'm pretty sure. In Australia, it's called Bad Neighbours. This movie is, like Borat, smarter than it looks. I think that it's actually got some great character work, especially behind the tragedy of Zac Efron's character. Like, he's kind of a frat boy dumbass, he's kind of an asshole and everything, but there's this certain sadness to him that you start to see throughout the movie, and it's kind of interesting. This movie's also, like, really funny. That's like the main reason to like it and everything. I think it's one of Seth Rogen's best movies, to be honest. That may be a controversial opinion, I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm quite a fan of this movie. Next up is Kill Bill 2. This is my second least favorite Quentin Tarantino movie. It's the reason that I haven't owned it till now. But, you know, I'm a completionist. I needed to own it, and it was cheap as, so whatever. Yeah, I love Kill Bill 1. Kill Bill 2 kind of disappointed me a bit in terms of the lack of action that the first one kind of promised. I know Tarantino's known for dialogue, and he's great at that, but I just felt like Kill Bill set up something different for the director. Then he kind of goes into his old ways, which is nothing bad. I mean, still, fantastic movie. Still, everything he does is great, except maybe Jackie Brown, that being my least favorite. But yeah, Kill Bill 2 is still really fun. It's pretty sick. But I fucking hate that on the cover here it says the new film by Quentin Tarantino. Like, they printed that. It's here. That can't go away. And now it says that. And years and years and years later it still says that, even though it's clearly not the new Tarantino movie anymore. Hate shit like that. Anyway. Next up is kind of a political movie, I suppose. It's kind of a complex and mature movie. It's about racism, and it's about growing out of your old shitty ways. American History X. This is probably the best movie that I bought. I think it's probably my favorite one, maybe. I don't know. Borat might be another competitor there. Oh, that's not good to compare this to Borat. Anyway, yeah, American History X is really fucking good. Yeah. Watch it. And the last movie that I got, the 25th movie, is The Visit. This is Shyamalan, maybe not at his best, but certainly at his pretty good-ish. It's a found footage movie, kind of a weird choice, I guess, but it kind of works for this movie. Weirdly great comedy, and it's also really creepy and everything. I was a pretty big fan of this when I saw it in cinemas. The Visit. I also got a couple TV shows that I've never watched. I still haven't watched them yet. I got the first season of The Wire and the first season of Boardwalk Empire. I hear they are masterpieces, especially The Wire. I guess I'll see. Yeah, Boardwalk Empire was $2. Pretty sure so was The Wire. So, I mean, that's pretty fucking good, isn't it? So yeah, I got 25 movies, 2 first seasons of shows, and yeah, I spent like maybe $40 or something. Like, it was like 50 at most. Like, it was nothing. So that was good, especially since I'm saving at the moment. Yeah, so anyway, the moral to this video, the point is, go thrift shopping, go get cheap shit. If there's a place where you can get cheap DVDs or Blu-rays, yeah, it's fun. Not only is it good to add to the collection and get stuff cheap and everything, save money and everything, but it's actually fun going too. Like, I had a good time looking for stuff, and it was kind of like reminiscent of like going to Blockbuster, the old video shops and everything, and looking. So it was kind of cool, and it was interesting to see what stuff they had there, what people have like tried to pawn off, and what people have tried to just give away and donate, depending on which shop we went to. Like, you know, there was some surprising pieces of gold among all the other shit that was there, because there was a lot of shit as well. But yeah, I feel like this was a pretty good, you know, haul. Alright, that's enough, you get it. I got a bunch of things, I got stuff. Now I feel like I'm just like bragging, even though it's DVDs, it's not like Lamborghinis, but still. So, I'm gonna go. Hope you enjoyed. Farewell, m'lady.